Hello, and welcome to episode 14 of Coffee with KHEAA. 1 year in the reign of Casi and Keith.
That's right. We made it.
We made it.
Yep.
1
Looks
year.
like we made it.
Oh, we're going to sing today. We're going to do a little, it's that kind of podcast. We are joining you on location from the biannual, we do this twice a year. The annual Outreach Department summer training. We don't do summer training twice a year. We do training.
Yeah.
A training session twice a year. Once in July, once in December. We get the staff together for a couple of days and we just do kind of a, 48-hour intensive, don't take calls from your family. Don't look away.
Yep.
We're just working.
Yeah.
So
kind of like the boot camp of college access.
The college access boot camp. Of course, we're teasing. We also have some team building and some social hour.
And we're fortunate because we're up in my neck of the woods this time around.
That's right.
We're up next to Cincinnati in northern Kentucky.
I think I can see Cincinnati out the window.
Yeah, you can see my home state.
There you go. Okay. So yeah, we're up in northern Kentucky. Our staff descends upon this great city later this afternoon, some tomorrow morning, but we have a robust training planned for them.
Yep.
But first, a podcast. And then it's keeping you on your toes.
Okay. I was waiting for a little coffee
talk.
Yep, there it is. Oh, sorry.
He did it. He stole my
I didn't realize you trademarked.
But first, a little coffee talk. And this one's a good one because we've been with this team for a year.
Yep.
Only a handful of newcomers. So in the last year, we've hired Jessica, Montana,
Brittany,
Cassidy. That's it. And Zachary has joined us because you're now 1 year, and Lene 1 year in, right?
Yeah.
Next month. Okay.
Lene was slightly before Zach, right?
Weeks before.
Lene started when Jessica in Montana started, right? I think it was the same day.
On the same day,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
It was on the same day they started.
It's an all-star crew of starters, right?
And we are sad to say that while we have welcomed 4 to 6 new faces in this group, we are saying goodbye to a couple.
Yep.
David Scott, who's our Central Kentucky Outreach Counselor, has decided to move on. He has once retired. Mm-hmm. So I think he's just kind of ready to slow down a little bit. And this department is doing anything but slowing down. And Katie Bauer, who has been just a real star student on this staff. Her husband was in residency in Bowling Green. So she served the Southwest Kentucky portion of the state. And her husband has accepted a full-time physician position in South Carolina.
Yeah, quite the move.
Quite the move. She will leave us beginning of September, so we're all really sad to see her go. Mm-hmm. But in her place, we have hired the one, the only Mr. Connor Vogt. And it would be fun to have him on to introduce him, I think.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be good? He's going to be a rock
And he's
star.
a familiar face. He's new to the KHEAA Outreach team, but he's got a history in the Kentucky College Coaches Program, which is certainly one of our proud partnerships.
Right. We love to steal our own college coaches to come work in outreach. We love it. Tony doesn't always get super excited.
Well, I used to do what Tony does, so I get it. It's her turn to deal with that. Yeah.
That's right. All right. So we wanted to talk a little bit about our staff for a second because now that we've been with these people for 1 year, I feel like we know them all very well.
Yeah.
Some of them we've been friends with for as long as we've been here, almost as long as we've been here. Mm-hmm. So our coffee talk this morning, it's 5:00 here, is full disclosure, we're slightly busy. I didn't write a script. I'm using my phone. Unprofessional. I know. Quick fire questions about our staff. So I'll ask the question and I've
had no prep. I have no idea what these questions are.
No.
Okay.
I want the first person that comes to mind and I've had some time to think about these. I've had the script.
So I just want everyone watching and listening to know that I'm at a disadvantage.
That's
here.
right. That's right. Specifically our staff, who is just going to say the same person over and over.
You're going to put me on the spot and I'm not going to be able to name a single staff member.
You're like, who works for us?
Yeah. Okay. Other than Brandy, who's sitting right off screen.
Right.
Like, pick me.
I know. Yeah, he's just going to say her for every single one. Okay. First question.
Okay.
Who on our staff has the most experience in outreach?
Tony Wiley.
Ding, 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 ding. That has to be correct because Tony and I started on the same day. Same month. I don't know if we started the same day, but we started at the same time.
2010?
Yes. Nearly. We are going into our 15th school year as KHEAA staff. So
you got to think that's pretty impressive.
Pretty stinking impressive that you knew that year.
I don't know what year I started?
2015.
No.
14.
No. 13. Started in 2013.
He made that up.
August of 2013.
Okay.
With a sabbatical in there.
I was going to say, I deduct that. I don't really. That's okay. I thought I was 15 years. You were 10 years in.
I mean, I'm about 10 years in. You're almost to 15.
That's true. Yeah. That's true. We're counting. Yeah. What is it called? When you like round up.
Yeah.
We're rounding up.
You're rounding you up and me down. That's the problem.
Well, as it should be. Okay. Next question. Okay. Who on our staff is the funniest? Can't choose me or you.
Oh, well, I was going to be me.
I know.
The funniest on staff, I would say Stephen Held has a direct connection to my funny bone.
He does have a I feel like if David were still here.
David's up there too.
You would put him up there.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I say this not because she's sitting in the room, but because it is the only correct answer. Brandy Forker is hands down the funniest person on our staff.
She's up there
She whips out some one-liners that get me. So, but also she and I have a very similar sense of humor to where you and Stephen and David have very similar senses of humor. Ours, of course, are the more intelligent.
Yeah. Ours is very sophomoric. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll stop
I'll
there.
be the first to admit that. Yeah. Very much so.
Very immature joke.
Yeah.
If you will. Okay, this is going to be a toughie.
Okay.
But I think the person would own this. Whoever we say, I think they'll own this. Who's the latest? Who is latest to meetings? Oh, it's kind of a tie in my head. Who do you think? What's your knee jerk?
Mackenzie's late a lot. She is late a lot.
Yeah.
Love her to death.
All of her strengths, promptness is a weakness.
Yeah.
I think she ties with Tony.
Yeah. I can see that.
When it comes to staff meetings, I don't know on the day-to-day what they're, I don't think they're late to schools.
I'll tell you who's the earliest anywhere is Montana McLean.
No, Robin.
Montana shows up really, really early to any event I've ever met her at.
Robin does too.
See, maybe that's skewed because I live up here, so I see Montana more often in Northern Kentucky. You see Robin out in Western Kentucky more often. True. So maybe there's that. Robin is very punctual too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tie for earliest.
Yeah.
Montana and Robin.
Yep. Okay.
Who's the first to volunteer for things?
Mackenzie and Brandon both, I would say, is a tie.
100%.
They volunteer for a lot.
100%.
Yeah.
Who is the baldest?
Well, that's up for grabs now. I'm getting more and more, I feel like, by the day. But
it's Brandon.
Yeah,
we love you. You know we love you. Brandon, if Brandon's family is listening, please know we love him so much. He's the baldest. He would agree.
Yeah.
He wouldn't dispute that.
Yeah.
He wouldn't say, no, Cassie has less hair than me.
Right. Yeah.
He can take on the extra projects because he doesn't have to use any time to do his hair.
That's true.
Brittany says he can take on the extra projects because he doesn't have to waste time doing his hair.
Yeah.
That's good.
I like
See,
it.
I told you she was the funniest. Yep. Who is the best editor? If you need something edited, corrected, who you're going to send that to?
Oh, that's an easy one. Katie Bauer.
Katie
Bauer's got those eyes for it.
She's got those eyes. She's so good at it.
She's very good at it.
She's going to catch everything. You think that you have gotten it perfect. You send it to Katie. You're going to get it back with 10 to 15 edits.
Yep.
She's so good at that. She catches everything.
Yep.
So that's going to be something, even though she moves and she's not an outreach counselor, I'm still going to send her my
She needs to fully prepare herself for emails from Central Kentucky on a regular basis.
We're going to go ahead and keep your KHEAA email active because I still need you to edit my documents.
Right.
Who is always up to travel? This would have been a different one a week ago for me.
Always up to travel. I feel like we're all road warriors in this department, so that's a hard one for me. Who do you have in mind?
David.
David is up to travel.
Yeah, David was always like, I'll go. I'll go. Kevin,
yeah. I mean,
always up to travel.
You know, he has the College Info Roadshow, so he's on a day-to-day basis traveling all over the state. So I could see that. Tony puts on a lot of miles with the College Coaches Program. Right. I would say between those two.
Yeah. I think that's also, and like we've got people who are always up to travel, like out of state as well. Like Mackenzie really likes to go. Kevin has a new baby, so I totally get why he doesn't volunteer for those. But like Mackenzie loves to go out of state and do some of those conferences and things. Hi, how are you?
Our team definitely, you know, they like new scenery.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. This is a tattoo. Who is the sweetest?
The sweetest. I think Brandy's very sweet. I do. I do.
Not me. No, she's sweet. But who's the sweetest? They're all sweet.
Yeah.
Who's the sweetest?
Montana's sweet. And Jessica is very sweet too.
Yes, that's who I was going to say. It's a tie for... Oh, no, Brandy might be. It's a 3-way tie. Montana, Jessica, and Kelly.
Kelly is a sweetheart. Yeah.
Kelly has such a big heart. Those three are like the salt of outreach. Like they are some of the nicest, most loving, giving people I've ever met in my life.
Yeah, they balance me and you out.
They do. And like we put these people on our staff intentionally because we know ourselves deeply at the core.
Yeah.
We need sweet people.
Yeah, they're our moral compass.
They're our moral compasses. I want to go back because we forgot somebody on the latest. And I feel like we have to mention it. And she knows this too. Brittany.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
It was so funny because Brittany, you know, we had the boot camps recently and we had the day before the first boot camp, which was like a grueling day where it was like all hands on deck. We're all at the Frankfurt office. Like we were there till like midnight, 2 a.m., setting up, getting things ready. And Brittany kept being like, I'm coming. I'll be there. I'm 10 minutes away. And it was just like, and then like she just wasn't. And I've not had the pleasure of working with Brittany nearly enough because I adore her. But apparently people who have worked with her a lot were like, no, this is just who Brittany is. Like she will tell you, I'll be there in 10 minutes and she's still laying in bed and needs to take a shower and is 2 hours away.
I can see that. I also, for some reason, I have this memory in my mind of someone telling me, like on their way from Owensboro, they'd be here in 20 minutes, like an hour and a half ago. I don't know who that was. Who was that?
Here's the thing. Brandy and I were supposed to be here in Covington at 3:30, and we landed about 10 till 5.
Yeah. Well, I was here with Zach, the producer of Coffee with KHEAA. Zach,
our host. Who did it? And we're back after a moment of technical difficulties. Keith was about to say bad things about me, so I unplugged this mic.
Yeah.
So there you
go. Is it working?
Nope. It is until you say something else about me being late.
Anyway, we were talking about being late, and I just wanted to be known that Zach and I, the producer of Coffee with KHEAA, we were sitting here and I think Cassie told us 20 minutes, which I looked at Zach. I said, no, 20 minutes in Cassie Benedict's eyes is more like 45. And I nailed it. Did I not, Zach? I nailed it.
If I weren't being paid right now, I'd walk out. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, he's right. He was saying a second ago when the mics weren't working, he was like, there's no way that GPS says 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And like, he must know me too well because it did not. It 100% said 31 minutes. And I looked at it, I was like, we'll be there in about 20. And then, of course, we hit thick traffic.
Yeah.
So 30 minutes on the GPS turned into literally like an hour. I mean, it was a long time.
Yeah.
And we were stuck in traffic, I swear. Okay. Who's the youngest?
The youngest is Montana, right?
Yes. She is the same age as you. 1 year, 1 month, 1 year. We're playing charades. 1 year older.
She's 97.
So she's 1 year younger than you.
No, older.
I can't do math. You can laugh. We like it. Okay, so she's 1 year younger than you. Older. What day is it?
He was born in 98.
I'll be there in 20 minutes.
Montana was already around for a year.
Okay, sorry. So you are the youngest. Zach is officially... No, Lene is younger than you. You're edging me off the screen.
Okay. Oh, wow, that's crazy.
Can we discuss... I was in college.
Yeah.
When Lene was born. Okay, we're done talking about who's the youngest. Who's the oldest? You know? Tell us, Zach. You think Keith is the oldest?
He acts the oldest.
That's hysterical.
Right on.
This is the best day of my life.
Yeah.
You
know I'm 5 years younger than
me.
Cassie.
What?
This is amazing.
No.
Is this the best day of your life?
The best day of my life. Zach thinks that Keith is the oldest member of Outreach. And here's the thing.
Outreach, but I think Keith is the oldest.
Keith is, period.
I'm an old soul. What can I say?
I like to joke that Keith was born looking exactly like this. Yeah. Like wearing his khakis and his penny loafers. Like Keith is just who was born an 40. Old man. Yep. Yes. So I have always also thought you were older than you are. Like I remember at one point I was like, man, 40s, right, Keith? And Keith was like, I don't know. Yeah. I'm only 35.
I'll take your word for it, Cass.
Way to out me on my age there.
Sorry. My bad.
I'm joking. Okay, so who's the actual oldest other than you?
Tony.
Is she older than David? I think she is.
I think so.
Because David was only 50. David was only 50 years old. So I think that Tony is older.
I think so.
Yeah. We think Tony's the oldest. The next would be me, right? No. Steven's a little bit older than me.
I think so.
Me and Steven and Kevin were all born the same era. We're all within a year of
Brandon's
each other.
Probably close,
He's
right?
a little bit younger than me. Ooh. Sorry.
Your script is ringing.
My script is ringing. Okay, who is the most creative?
Brandy and her shirt designing has impressed me.
100%.
She's very creative. You also, I remember Brandy did some work with Katie on like a resource fair where you did like a cutout of the bus, the College Info Roadshow at an event down in Bowling Green or somewhere near Bowling Green. And I remember being impressed with that. Yeah. So she's really good at it.
Brandy and I have known each other since 2008, I think. And I have always said she is probably one of the most creative people I've ever met. Mm-hmm. Like she is the most creative person. Very, very, very much so.
Yeah.
We're not just saying that because she's in the room. Who is...
So many things.
Yeah.
And who's the most artistic?
Brandy.
Again, Brandy.
Because she showed up to the podcast filming.
That's right. Because she is here in this room. She is the most.
Our entire staff had an invite. They could have come here and gotten complimented for an hour.
First one at the hotel.
That's true. Zach was the earliest.
Keith lives here.
Here in town.
Touche.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
You know, I can
see this hotel from my house.
And you were later than Zach. Here's another thing, though, is when we did the Valentine activity, Montana's was awesome. Did you see it?
Yes.
She's very creative. Really good. I'm interested to see. This girl's going places. I'm interested to see the big things.
I tell you, I'm the least creative person on this team, I would say.
I'll agree with that.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
No, you're not.
But you have good ideas.
I just don't know how to put them on paper.
Well, that's why we make
they're all
a
up
good
here.
team.
They're all up here.
Who is the most likely to have things figured out months before it happens? You know.
I'm stumped on this one.
Robin.
I could see that.
Yes.
She knows a FAFSA frontwards and backwards.
Yes.
Her knowledge of financial aid blows me away.
Yes. But she's also just a planner at heart. Like she will ask me a question about something that's happening 6 months from now. And I'm like, I've not started thinking about that. But she has. She's on top of it.
Yep.
So she is awesome at that.
Yeah. I know I've had talks with her about like dates of staff meetings that I didn't even have written down on my calendar yet. Yeah. So, yeah. No, that's a good one. That is a good one.
Who is, excluding present company, it has to be someone who's not in this room, who's our most talented musically?
Joplin.
Yes.
Joplin Rice is a very, very good musician.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Who is, I'm going off the script here. One of the, I don't know how to word this. What's yours while I think about how to word this?
Who's the most fashion forward?
That's a great one.
Oh, that's yours truly.
Ow!
My fashion, like, I just wait for things to come back into style. It just hasn't changed in a long time.
Any day now, those bell bottoms are coming back.
Yep, that's right. Those parachute pants, just wait. Just wait.
I know who it is. It's Montana.
Yeah.
She's the best.
Yep.
Okay, second to last one.
Okay.
We're almost there, I promise. Who is the quickest learner on our staff?
That's an easy one for me. That would be Cassidy Smith.
Oh, she's so good.
I mean, think about it. Like she came on in one of the toughest FAFSA years, you know, with all the changes that we talk a lot about on this podcast. She came in the throes of that, right? Like she started with us as a temporary, and she did such a great job. She became a permanent outreach counselor in Southeast Kentucky.
And we were like, so we were in a bind. She was a college coach. She agreed to come kind of do both jobs for a minute.
Mm-hmm. She helped us out a lot during the opening of the FAFSA.
Yes. And I was adamant, like, we are hiring this person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what I have to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I mean, everyone was on board with it. But Keith and I, in our, conversations leading up to broaching the subject of her becoming a permanent employee, I was like, I refuse to let anybody else do that job.
Yeah.
It's her job.
Yeah.
She's amazing. She was so good.
Yeah.
All right. Final question.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the hardest worker?
That's a 15-way tie in this department.
15?
Well,
it's 15. Yeah. Sorry.
I excluded
I didn't know you were excluded.
Sorry, 17-way tie?
No. They definitely work harder than we do.
Yeah, the impact that they make on students and families' lives throughout Kentucky is unmatched by anything we do.
Yeah, this is the hardest working team in the state of Kentucky, and I'll put them up against any team.
You and I talk about what they do. They go out and do it.
They actually do. And that's what I tell them all the time is I'm like, we can't do the cool things we get to do without you all in the trenches giving us the good things to talk about.
Right.
Like they absolutely work 1,000 times harder than we do. They are the hardest working team, bar none.
Yeah, it's hands down the best team out there. We really are spoiled. Cassie and I are so fortunate to have the people that we have in outreach.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, folks, that's the end of the podcast. No, I'm just joking. We're going to do a couple more quick fire things. We got some important feedback recently at a boot camp that our podcasts were too long.
Yeah.
Okay, Keith, it has been a year. Are you signaling me? Boo. We don't like negative feedback. Boo. Just joking. Keith, it's been a year.
Okay.
Is this what you thought it would look like when you accepted the position of assistant? Let's give a little bit of history.
Mm-hmm.
Kim Dolan was director of outreach. Summer Gortney was assistant director.
Well, before that, I come from the Susan Hopkins Kim Dolan.
Yes, I'm just gonna talk about how we got hired. I wasn't gonna it was a cold, blustery day in December when Susan
you're fast forwarding
was born
through the first half of my career here. Gotcha.
Okay, so Summer Gortney left KHEAA to go to Kentucky Adult Ed.
Mm-hmm.
I applied for the job of assistant director. Kim was generous enough to offer me that job. That was in April of 2022.
Okay.
2.5 years ago, almost.
That was in my sabbatical. I wasn't here at that point. That was
Keith's trial separation. Mm-hmm. And so I was assistant director for 10 months before Kim was offered the VP of Government Relations job.
So that was June of 23, right?
Yes. Okay. I was only director of, no. So then I was there more than a year. It was 14 months.
I was going to say, I thought it was.
It was 14
because I came back to KHEAA in August of 22.
I came back.
You were new. You had already been the assistant director though at that point.
Oh, I hired you. I came back from maternity leave for yours and Joplin's first day, and I brought my baby with me.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah. I was on maternity leave, but I was like, I can't miss their first day. Yep. So me and Embry drove to Frankfurt, and
that's right. Joplin and I came back on the same day.
Had lunch with you and Kim and Joplin.
Yep.
Yeah. So that was what month? July, August.
July of 22.
Of 22.
Yeah.
So I'd been director for 3 months, been on maternity leave most of the time. Assistant director for 3 months, been on maternity leave most of the time. I'm going way off screen. And then Kim was offered the position in June of 23.
Yeah.
And so then I was made director when Kim was VP. When Kim was made VP, and then we very quickly, days I think later, hired you. You were on vacation.
That's right. I remember I did my interview with you guys
on vacation
in Florida.
Yes, you were on vacation, and I was like, Kim, I think, because she was like, well, we'll wait, because we knew we kind of had our eye on Keith as like he'd be a great assistant director. And I was like, she was like, I think we'll just wait until he comes back, and then we'll talk to him. And I was like, I'm gonna call him on vacation. I was like, he needs to know that if he's assistant director, there are no more vacations that are uninterrupted.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So we literally
called me to get to work.
Right. Did you come back and get to work? Yeah.
Catch next
you were
flight.
in a condo in Florida when we did your interview via Zoom.
Yeah. Still had a collared shirt on.
Yeah. This exact shirt. So we started July 16th of 2023 or something like that. I don't remember our first day, but it was the same first day. Even though I had actually already accepted the position, my first day for some reason was backed up a couple of weeks.
Uh-huh.
And so our first days were actually the same day, and I had already been trained.
Yeah.
Kim had trained me in those 2 weeks.
You were already transitioning in.
I had transitioned in. Yeah. I was doing both jobs.
That had to be tough. Like you doing, you were it for a stretch there.
I was it. And I had a new baby. Well, she was a year at that point, but still.
Yeah.
She's needy. So, yeah. I spent a lot of time in my closet working. That's where I worked because I could lock the bathroom door and keep the kids out.
That was your Zoom location.
It's my Zoom location. So, a year in, is this job what you thought it was going to be?
No, and that's why I love it. Because we've changed things. We've done a lot of new, exciting things, and I love that challenge. I'll tell you, working with you, Cassie, it may have been a year. It doesn't feel like a day over 5 years. I thought it was good.
I make your life move at a snail's pace.
No, I love that. We've worked on this grant. We've done a lot of exciting things.
Better FAFSA.
Yeah, the Better FAFSA training. As soon as
we started, what was it, a week later, 2 weeks later?
Yeah, we had positions to fill and trainings to
we had positions to fill. I forgot about that. Yes, we had positions to fill, which we actually did with promoting people.
Yep.
And then we had to fill those positions.
Yep.
Yeah. So
it's a lot going on.
It was a lot. And Better FAFSA started happening. And we scheduled it such that it was like a week after we got hired, started our official positions. We flew to DC to be trained for the Better FAFSA, Better Future. And a week after we got back, we trained our staff. No, days, wasn't it? No, It was the next week.
I think it was the next week we trained our staff. And then the week after that, we trained the state of Kentucky at that point.
We started.
How many of those did we do? Roughly?
16.
At least.
We did 16 official.
In-person
regional,
ones.
In-person.
Yeah.
2 webinars. And then we also did conferences and other staff trainings to total 28 or something like that.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah.
It was a lot. And then, we're on the heels of that because the 24-25 FAFSA is still happening. And then there was the FAFSA Summer Support Grant, which we just got 6 weeks ago. And we have 6 more weeks of that.
We wouldn't have it any other way. We're busybodies. We wouldn't
have it any other way. Keith and I are not. We had a meeting with a woman one time, and she had a shirt on that said, "I rebuke the bare minimum."
Yeah.
And we were like, man, that's us.
Yeah.
What's your motto?
Which one?
Do it.
I've got a lot of them. There are a lot of Keithisms out there,
The one
Cassie.
about it being easy.
Oh, yeah. We don't do this because we thought it'd be easy.
No.
I messed that up.
No.
What is it?
You botched it.
Yeah. You tell me.
We don't do
this you tell me what I say.
We don't do this because it's easy. We do this because we
thought it would be easy. Yeah.
That is our motto.
Yeah.
We go into the world and we're like, we could do that.
Right.
We could get $1 million grant and spend it before the end of August. That's not a problem. And we're like, man, this is hard. But we both function where we thrive when there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
When
our backs are against the wall, that's when we're at our best, I feel like.
We thrive with high energy, pressure, like, let's go, let's get it done, a lot on our plates. If we, one thing that you said the other day that got me was you were like, I kind of like wake up in the morning and I'm like, what can we do now? Like, what can we do next?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's how we both are. Like, we're both like, status quo is not where we want to live. We want to live a step ahead. We want to live for the next thing that Outreach can do, for the next thing that Kentucky can do to reach these students, to help these families. We want to be there. We want to be a constantly growing and moving forward. And thankfully we have a team that is fully on board with that. And I don't know how we got that blessed.
Yeah, I know.
But we did. I mean,
it takes a special person to work in outreach.
Absolutely.
And it's not for the faint of heart, but I'll tell you what, you can have a lot of fun here and you can also impact so many people in the right way. And that's what I think gets our staff going is that impact.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think so too. And that's, one thing, and I know I did this and I think you did it too. When I took over as assistant director, I called every member of staff and I said, asked them just a series of questions. And I said, you have nothing to lose because, I've been your colleague, I've been your coworker for, 12 years. And even though I'm your boss now, you have nothing to lose being honest with me because I wasn't managing this team before. And so I would say things like, why do you stay here? If you can go make $6,000 somewhere else, why do you come back to KHEAA every day? And every single one of them said, I believe in what we do. I'm passionate about what we do.
Yeah. Yep.
And like, you can't find that anywhere else.
Right.
This is a unique, special thing that we're a part of. And I don't want to be anywhere else.
No, same. Absolutely.
All right. Well
said.
That's it for us, guys. Now, I really do just want to kind of leave it at that. Like, I really do. This podcast, I feel, is important to just kind of commemorate, like, what we've done in the last year, the hard work we've done, and especially this team of people that we have that we can say, guys, we've got a lot of extra work happening because of the FAFSA summer supports. Who can help? And we've got 4 or 5 people chomping at the bit to help us.
I know.
And no matter what we throw at them, they're ready to do it. And no matter how many times we say, Zach, we need you to travel up here and do this. He's like, okay. We need you to fix it. Okay, I'll do that. What about this? We've got this crazy idea. And they're like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's fun. I mean, this is quite a ride.
They allow us to have our crazy ideas.
That's right.
Yeah.
They indulge us.
Right. Yeah.
And it's fun. Every step of the way, this is fun. Yeah. Like, we were recently, I had been on vacation and it was a Sunday night or maybe I don't know. But the next day was Monday morning. And I was thinking to myself, I remember the days when I would feel that anxiety on Sunday night of I've got to go to work tomorrow. And I can legitimately say I do not feel that in this job.
Yeah.
I am itching to get back to work. I am itching to okay, it's Monday. Like you said, what are we going to get into this week?
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. I love it.
Yeah. Well, here's to a year. Let's see what other trouble we can get into for the next year, right?
You nail on the head. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us for episode 14. We're at the staff training. We will be posting a recap video of all of the awesome things we're doing at the training. Brandy's shoes will not be squeaking in the recap video. So we are excited to share with you all the fun things that we've got coming up this next year. We've got more podcasts coming. We've got the On Location State Fair podcast. which I think is going to be live. We've got to see. Zach is giving me, I don't know if that's going to happen, but it's another one of those crazy ideas we come to Zach with. And we're like, can we go live from the state fair?
We'll figure it out.
So thank you for joining us. We are about 6 months into the podcast. So thank you for joining us for this half of our reign of Casi and KHEAA. And thank you also for indulging us. And Casi and KHEAA, did I call him KHEAA?
Yeah, you might as well.
We've changed his name.
Yeah.
For henceforth, you will be known as KHEAA.
Yeah. I have floated the idea to you all that I might get that KHEAA swoosh tattoo at some point.
Mackenzie legitimately wants it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I'm like, no, Mac, no.
Yeah.
You also taught me how to say FAFSA.
Oh,
that has been our crowning achievement.
Yes. Yeah.
That is our crowning achievement because just now when Zach said FAFSA, he said it
beautifully.
Correctly.
Yeah.
That's our crowning achievement is that we've taught Zach how to say FAFSA. Everything else.
I've been correcting people.
Good.
There we go. Even better.
My job here. It's done. I'm done, folks. I have raised him right.
That's right. That's a proud moment.
Everything else we've done, not even worth mentioning. Teaching Zach how to say the FAFSA.
It took a while.
FAFSA. Ew, listen.
There's a whole video about it.
Notice that we did not mention Zach was our quickest learner. We love you, Zach. We love you. Okay. Thank you for joining us. And until next time, KHEAA later.
See you later.
I am so glad that was caught. I was going to say, you have to